with me. You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane, it's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes. form of art. I'm never gonna look back, cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change, slowly take a step today. I will never be the same, cause that's what it takes.
All right, guys, happy Sunday. Welcome. Let's bring in our co-host without further ado. Mediocre, how you doing, amigo? Hey, I like that hat.
Thank you.
Is that a new upgrade to the wardrobe?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. I love it. Happy Sunday. Happy Q2 box office day.
Listen,
cheers.
You know, you're the only clown cowboy I know, so I figured I got to get me a cowboy hat.
We're gonna have to upgrade the repertoire here, the wardrobe, with some clown noses too.
That's right.
We're gonna wait. Let me get the news segments done where we have the clown of the week, where we talk about the most clownish clickbait out there, and we'll premiere the noses at that time in honor of the clowns. Cheers, buddy.
Hello.
We're not going to talk too much serious tonight, guys. We're just here to have fun, to hang out, to look at some box office. Let me put this box office up here. Unfreaking believable, considering where we were just a couple
Let's go, baby.
Unfreaking believable. Look at this shit, man. 1.942 billion. Can you believe it?
It's growing fast, Tony.
All those movies I want to go see.
I ain't gonna lie.
All that pizza. I'm going to have to do a bunch of extra days at the gym to make up for all this extra Q2 box office work that I did.
Oh, yeah.
1.942. Y'all probably want to know, what's that going to mean for earnings? What's that going to mean for cash burn? Just hold your horses. We're going to get there. I got it right up here on the other tab. I'm going to wait for a few more people. I want to see one of the shills come in and say, "What are y'all celebrating?"
And you want to see my shirt?
Lose money. Let's wait for the shills to show up, guys. What, Mediocre?
Anya wanted to see my shirt.
You're ready. Not only are you ready for the Cowboy Clown Show, you are also ready for 4th of July. I love it.
Damn, Skippy.
I need to get me a 4th of July hat. Maybe, no, we won't do that. I was going to say, maybe we'll do one poolside with Scarlett, and we'll be wearing 4th of July bikini for her and, whatever trunks I can find. But I don't have a pool in my backyard, so never mind, Mediocre.
Cyrus Jones wants to know what were the expectations, Tony?
I mean, Cyrus, if you go back and watch a couple of my live streams, I was doing weekly updates this month. There was a point where I was thinking, we'd be lucky to get 1.6 billion domestic box office. As we were in April and May of this year, it was not looking too spiffy. Now, yes, AMC needs more than 1.942 to turn a profit. That's not the point. The point is, we almost hit 2 fucking billion, and I got to see people on Twitter, this is going to be the worst quarter in history for the movie industry. Are you guys not keeping up out there? I mean, we've been going with the rocket. What do they say? What do they say in the music industry, Mediocre? Number one with the rocket. Number one with something. We've been tearing it up. Thank you, Inside Out too. And let's see how Quiet Place did this weekend. Let me pull up the weekend chart.
I thought I was going to skate by this week without any injury, but I lost some shares. Now I got to look at buying back.
$3 fucking million. I had forecast 50 million for A Quiet Place. Beautiful. For Inside Out 2, oh, you can't see it here. You can't see it. There you go. 53 million for A Quiet Place. Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
I had forecast. Let me bring up my forecast for these movies. Inside Out 2 is 469. Let's see what I had for it. I think it smashed my fairly conservative estimate. Q2 movies. I had guessed 375 for Inside Out 2, and we're at 469 domestic right now. That is a win. 469. Quiet Place, 185 is what I have for the run, but for opening weekend, I had been saying in the Discord, expect about 50 million on the top side. 40 to 50 million is what I had forecast. So 53, that's a beat for opening weekend. Bad Boys Ride or Die right now, we are at 165. I have it at 250 for the full run. Still got a ways to go. It might not quite get 250. Furiosa obviously came in a little bit under what we were expecting. Where is Furiosa? Oh, this Kalki 2898 has also been doing good. It's a Hindu language, Hindi, however the heck you say it. I was checking on that one just in my local theaters. It was almost full in every showing. There's smaller screenings, but Horizon only came in at 11 million. That's disappointing. I don't even have it on my spreadsheet because I didn't think it would be worth tracking. What happened to Furiosa? She dropped off already? My wife said, look, Furiosa is already on streaming. Furiosa. She came in at domestic 66.7. That's a ouch.
Yeah.
6.7. I was expecting 100 million more from Furiosa. So, and Garfield, let's see how Garfield did real quick. I'm just updating this. I'll do a 5-minute summary video tomorrow, but I got to update these numbers anyway. So while we're waiting for folks to show up, let's just see where we're at on these. Garfield domestic is at 89.6, and I had it at 95, so pretty close.
Yeah.
Within the margin of error on those.
Some movies did much better than expected. Others not as good.
That's how it always is, right? You do your best to forecast, and some do worse than you were expecting. Some do better. Planet of the Apes did not meet my expectations, unfortunately. Planet, that was off by 100 million. That and Furiosa kind of hurt us as we were going through the middle of this quarter, but thank goodness with Inside Out 2. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, 168. Where is that? So I had thought it might do as good as 255. Way off on that one. Anyways, at the end of the day, 1942. Is that where we're at? quarterly, Q2. 1942. Booyah. Let's see. Let's put some chat up here on the screen. Let's get rid of this. Chat. Mediocre. Let's get him up there. There we go. Frank says he's drinking limoncello. Cheers, Frank.
Yes, sir.
Furiosa was super good, Tech We Love. I sure wish people would have supported that movie. This weekend, we saw A Quiet Place 2. Loved it. If you follow me on Twitter or on my community tab, I already put my movie reviews up. And we went yesterday and watched the Costner film, Horizon, a 3-hour movie. I was like, holy shit, man. How am I going to find 3 hours to watch a movie? But it was well worth it. We just went early on a Saturday to get it out of the way. And I don't know what all the bitching is about this movie not being good. You got to have the right expectations when you go see Horizon. This isn't a one and done film. This is a 3-hour setup for a multi-part series of movies. Part 2 comes out in August. I think there's a part 3 and maybe a part 4, but I don't know if he's done any filming yet on part 3. But for sure, we got the next one coming out. So there's multiple threads of stories in this 3-hour film, and they all kind of play together. I think they're going to all culminate together in the next film. And I just thought, as far as a pre-Civil War Western, the settlers versus the Native Americans, I thought it was a really, really good film. Cinematography, acting, just everything about it was good. People don't like it mediocre when they can't get closure at the end of a film,
Yeah.
Fuck them. Fuck them, I say.
I love it.
This ain't TikTok.
Nah. I'm just glad to see, movies coming back. Getting a stronger box office means, more revenue for the company and closer to profitability. That makes me happy,
Tech We Love says it was super liberals. It didn't like it. They didn't like Furiosa or they didn't like Horizon. And if it was Horizon, what could you not like about it? I'm ready to fight somebody.
Mad Ride got a good question.
Mad Ride says, any thoughts on AMC hitting my 350 target? We're at that really weird point where I think, there's going to be a lot of talk about, there was going to be talk about Q2 being bad. I gotta retrace my words here now, Mediocre. We're not in bad territory anymore. We're in a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
But anything over 2 billion, I think you really get to celebrate, but we're not in bad territory anymore. I don't know that AMC goes back all the way down to 350 unless there were some announcement for management about they need more cash. And, we had a lot of cash going into this quarter. Remember, they raised cash at the beginning of this quarter because they were worried that this was going to be a cash burn quarter. And they wanted to prep for that so that we could end this quarter strong on the cash position. And the cash burn ended up being less, I think, than any of us had anticipated for Q2.
Yeah, we were expecting it to be higher for sure.
Yeah, I initially was forecasting a cash burn on Q2 as bad as $250 million, which is exactly what they raised. And they were probably looking at the same thing. And then we got lucky with the acceleration in the box office in June, which we were hoping, but management plans for worst case scenario. They're not planning like us where everything's going to be roses. They have to be a little more conservative. So they planned for the worst. They did the cash raise early in the quarter and got it out of the way. And now maybe if they feel comfortable with the cash raise, we just ride the wheels on into excellent Q3 and Q4. So maybe we don't go down from here. Maybe we don't. What do y'all think? Do you think I see a lot of the complainers out there in social media are saying, Adam gave you guys a free slushie. He's going to dilute you. They can't allow us to have one happy moment.
I just hope that I get us another chance at 450 at least, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm not too concerned.
Lando says, what is my prediction for Deadpool? Good question, Lando. Let me see if I have numbers on there. I think I put my Q3 numbers in for everything. I have A Quiet Place at 185. I have, where is Deadpool? I have Deadpool at 350. I don't know what else is coming out July 3rd? Something got deleted here. Calendar.
You got that right, Richard.
I think that's just a mistake. Let's delete this.
Richard says, all we need is more movies, Tony. He's right, too. Guy knows what he's talking about.
Exactly. Oh, Despicable Me 4 should be July 3rd. Maybe I just pasted it in the wrong spot. Edit, undo. Let's do this. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I don't want to waste time doing this. Despicable Me, I have it at 265. 265. I don't know why these rows are messed up, but I'm not going to worry about it right now.
Well, you're looking. I'm reading chat.
Okay. And Deadpool, I think I have it at a conservative 350. And that was looking at other industry expectations from experts plus previous Deadpool. And then I added a little bit to the previous Deadpools for Deadpool plus Wolverine. And then I'm hoping that I'm being too conservative and that we smash 350. Maybe we do. I try and plan realistically, and then if we get upside surprise, that's a bonus. I see a lot of people talking about Long Legs too. That it's supposed to be one of the scariest movies out in a long time. I have the numbers on it pretty freaking low, so I need to go look at that again. Has anybody watched the trailer for Long Legs?
I have not.
I wish I could set this view as a default somehow, Mediocre. Every time I come back from the share screen, it makes you off to the side like that. I need to send restream.
I don't even pay attention to it, to be honest with you.
I'm not usually over here looking at this monitor to see what we look like on the screen. I'm looking at other stuff up here, down here, over there. All right. What other questions y'all got while we're here? Yes. By the way, those numbers that I'm talking are domestic box office numbers. Deadpool will do over $1 billion globally. So, Ted, do you think Deadpool is $1 billion domestic? He's saying $1 billion easily. I definitely wouldn't argue with you for global. Easily, yes.
What do you got for numbers for domestic, Tony?
Projected.
For what? Deadpool.
I have Deadpool domestic at 350. I think that might be conservative, but I don't like overhyping stuff, Mediocre. There's going to be people out there saying it's going to do $1 billion domestic. Man, I'd fucking pop a bottle of champagne and drink it in one swig if Deadpool does $1 billion domestic. We need something like that. Looking at numbers, just for the rest of this year, I know y'all are kind of wondering what's the rest of this year going to look like. The industry is forecasting between 8 and 9 billion domestic box office. We are at right now. I can't see my mouse with these glasses. There we go. We are right now at 3.5. So 4.5 to, $6 billion, 4.5 to $5 billion, $5.5 over the next 2 quarters. That means that the next 2 quarters are going to be pretty damn good and have a fair chance of being profitable quarters.
Yeah, I know.
Looking at the
that's
box
why
office.
I need some shares, Tony. I need shares, buddy.
So whoever was asking about the price of the stock, I think we're going to find out here real quick in the next few weeks. The shorts are going to want to try and talk about Q2 was disappointing, but they're not going to want to focus on Q3 and Q4 are going to be gangbusters. So we'll have to see what sentiment holds. And the faster we can get some of these big movies in July, bringing in big numbers, the faster we can shut these fucking bears down. Obviously I'd prefer to buy AMC cheap, but I don't want it to go down. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I have some at $5. I tried to buy some at $4.50 this week. I sold some cash cured puts, but the price ran up on us at the end of the week. So I missed that. I missed getting in at $4.50.
I had a chance to make so much freaking money this week. I could have. I sold my 450s, and when it dropped, I could have easily exited and held my shares, and caught the run up and all that crap, and I didn't do none of it. I just said, I'm not touching it. I don't care. I'm going to let it go.
Yep.
Got a little bit of regret on that, but I don't care. I know I'll get another entry, so I'm just going to jump back in. That's it. No worries. No harm, no foul. Let's go.
Oh yeah, Ted was saying billion global. Yeah, Ted. So the way that I do my spreadsheet, and let's pull up the spreadsheet here. I plug in domestic box office because it's easier to get data and check expectations for domestic numbers, and then my spreadsheet extrapolates domestic numbers into AMC's global revenue and expenses, and I'm usually within 1 or 2%. I was getting a lot of questions in the Discord. Do you think food and beverage is going to be above normal? I mean, it could be. In the last couple of years, I've been within 1% on food and beverage revenue, except for 1 quarter. So it tracks typically globally. If we take all the numbers, it tracks at about 61% of admissions will be your food and beverage revenue. There was 1 quarter here in Q2 2023, it was 65%, but I don't know if you guys can see this. Every other quarter is within 1% of 61. Unless you go all the way back to 2019 and it was under 60% then. But I'm looking at the new AMC with new food offerings, higher prices, things like that. So mostly focusing on 2021, 2022, 2023. This should bring us, like I said, I'll do a 5-minute video tomorrow going through these numbers more in detail, but rough numbers. These don't take these as gospel. I have admissions at 31% of the total box office. That'll be AMC's revenue. We'll go through a better case and a worse case, but 31% is a good middle ground. That would give us total admissions. If we got 31% of 1942, that is 602 million. With food and beverage and other, total revenue will be 1.06 billion. cost of revenue 958. That gives us a gross profit of 104. Operating loss of 30 million. Not too bad, mediocre.
Could be better, but
that includes non-cash depreciation and amortization of 82 million. Then we have the corporate borrowings, which is their interest payments. Rough numbers, what you could expect to see on net loss for the quarter, 113. Now, if AMC got a little bit bigger percentage of the total box office, like look at last quarter, we were at 32.99%. Let's just model that for a second. If AMC brings in 33%, that drops the net loss to 92 million. So we have 113 versus 92. So I don't really see a story. There's just no way on 1.9 box office that we get to a profit. But at this point, what we're really trying to do is talk about how do we minimize cash burn.
Yep.
At 113 net loss, the cash burn would be 148. That's that yellow line down there. And at 33%, it would be 127. I mean, I could live with 127. How about you, mediocre?
Yeah.
Just a hell of a lot better than negative 250.
That's right.
This red, the red that you see here that's in the positive, that includes the cash raise. That includes financing cash flow. So that's why that number is positive. Really what I'm looking at is what is the free cash flow? Operating loss minus CapEx. All right.
So, Tony, got a comment I want to read.
Yep.
Earl says, Tony, where'd you get those meme glasses?
Amazon.
Freaking gangsta.
Amazon, and they're cheap as hell. I think they're like 3 pair for $10.
And he says, and you just hit the pen.
They break real easy, so get the pack of 3 and don't overpay for them. Look for the cheap ones. There'll be some people out there ripping you off. Lots of Minions merch to be sold, Richard says. Booyah. Lando says we need to get out of more leases. Yes. I expect we'll see more closures, Lando. I got a spreadsheet for that, but we're not going to get into spreadsheets tonight more than we already just did.
Everybody thinks that they could just close them, Tony, and we can't. You know that we talk about it.
Right. The leases, guys. The closures will happen as leases finish up, and these are long-term leases. Someone came in my comments. I should read y'all the comments on my post earlier today. There were 2 comments. Like, number one, the first guy said, AMC needs to do more to cut costs. Their biggest cost is the interest expense and the leases, and they are actively trying to pay down the debt so to reduce that interest expense, reduce the debt payments, and they are actively reducing leases. But you can't just walk away from a lease because you will get sued for the entire remaining balance on that lease. So there's only so much they can do. I want y'all that hate AMC that are listening in you got to understand how the world works. I don't know if you guys have ever signed a corporate lease, a commercial lease. You don't just get to break it and walk away unscathed. They will file a lawsuit for specific performance and sue you for every month remaining on that lease. So there's no benefit just to walk away.
Thank you, Donahue, George. Appreciate it.
So understand the dilemma that management's in. They can't just walk away from leases. They are closing theaters. They've closed 100 since 2019, and there will be more. The other thing that the comment that I got today said, the executives and the board, if only they weren't getting paid, we would be profitable. Really? Like, how much do you think these guys get paid in cash? How much do you think CEO Aaron makes, guys? Cash. Because I'm seeing negative $100 million here for the quarter. You're telling me if that was every quarter, you're telling me you think Adam Aaron and the board get paid $400 million in cash? If it only was not for their salaries, we'd be profitable.
That's not true.
That's not even close to true. I mean, he makes like $2 million cash. Their pay is an afterthought into what's going on here. It's the sheer size of their locations, the insurance, the rent, the interest, the utility bills, all the staff. It's the size of the company and the fucking box office and the quantity of movies. That's the problem.
Absolutely. People need to.
I know you guys. I know. Huh? What, Mediocre?
That's what people need to understand. Hollywood's the problem. They need to start pumping out the movies and we'll be just fine. That's it. We need movies, more movies.
Lando says 23 million. Yeah, there's the total compensation, and then there's under the total compensation package for like the CEO, there is cash, which is a very small percentage. That's what would affect your earnings. And then there's the stock bonus awards.
Yeah, the compensation package.
So their compensation is made up of cash, very small, and the compensation based in stock awards, which, I mean, I don't know about you, but I want the executives to have, I want them to have shares, so they fucking want it to go up.
Exactly.
If the bulk of their pay is in shares, they are incentivized for the price to go up. Absolutely. Now, if they're getting loaded up in shares and they're selling at $5, I'm out. But if they're getting compensated in shares and holding them, which they generally have been since 2021, I think that Adam's last sale was in early 2022. If they're holding them, then they're holding them expecting that things are going to get better.
I think they're obligated to hold them right now, though.
Well, they do have the X times their salary requirement. You're right, Mediocre. Yeah. I think it's 8X for the CEO.
Yes, he's kind of stuck. It hasn't hit a good amount, or he'll just keep accumulating. But I don't think he can sell yet, based on the math we do. You know.
I didn't answer the folks in the comments because I don't like arguing when people don't even understand what they're commenting about, what they're complaining about. When you tell me the company would be profitable if it wasn't for executive salaries, I encourage you, I implore you, go read the compensation package. It's in the proxy. It's about 30 pages, but there are one or two tables that show you what the cash component of their pay is. It's a afterthought on the total expenses here. It is not even relevant to the losses that the company has. Only box office is relevant. That's the only thing that's going to save AMC. And if box office doesn't get where we need it to in 2025 or 2026, then the only answer, they could work for free for the rest of their lives. It will not fucking save this company.
Yeah, exactly.
The only answer is jettison 1/3 of the fucking theaters or go bankrupt.
We're on the same page. Nobody here wants to give them a raise, right? Like, we've all said no. I know I voted no.
I voted no for their pay raise. I absolutely did. I don't mind them being fairly compensated, but understand that people are upset, Adam. 23 million is more than fair. You don't need a higher total compensation than that. I understand you guys are working hard, you and Sean, but how about we just chill on raising the total compensation until we're in a green year? 1.5 million, Stanley. Thank you. I was thinking it was 2 million, but I mean, you guys can see that, right? If Adam's the highest paid guy and he's only taken down 1.5 million in cash, all the executives could work for free the rest of their lives, it would not save this company. It's
right.
so irritating to me when people say, why doesn't Adam work for free like Ryan? Because it ain't going to make a fucking difference. Ryan's a billionaire, and he
And I'll tell you
can.
this too. You know, he's getting paid 1.5 billion, which for the size of the company is not a big salary. And Sean Goodman should be paid probably almost as much, right? And he's worth it. He's worth the money. Like that's a good CFO right there. I think. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I'm gonna light up a smoke, Mediocre. I'm gonna get ready for this next round of questions here.
Yeah.
Chris, good evening to you.
Doesn't get a lot of credit for what he does, if you want my opinion.
He doesn't get a lot of blame for what he does. I think that's what you mean.
Well, there's that too. You know, it depends what side of the fence you're on, right?
It cracks me up. All the stuff people blame Adam for, I think, is really Sean's doing. And blame or give credit depends on what side of the fence you're on. It's the same. You're either mad at what they're doing or you're thankful for what they're doing. But at the end of the day, they're doing their job.
Adam is just a mouthpiece for whatever Sean tells him, pretty much.
When it comes to finance, I think so.
I do too.
I think there's a couple people on the board that are good finance experts. And I think Goodman and his team are the ones driving the day-to-day stuff. And Adam has to go out there and take all the arrows in the back for it.
I'm sure he does.
Sean's like, you don't pay me enough for that, Adam. I'm just going to go on the phone calls and talk. You get on Twitter, have fun.
That's why the board recommends them getting raises because, I mean, look at what they've done. Like they've done a lot to make sure the company doesn't go bankrupt, right? The two of them. They're a pretty good team. I know some people don't want to hear that, but the truth is they did protect their company. You know, you could say, oh, he didn't do his fiduciary duty, but he actually did, right? If you go to zero, you lose everything. He stopped you from going to zero. Like that's he was within his fiduciary duty, in my opinion.
ERA land buyer says they're probably shorting it. There is if you go read the compensation package, there's a paragraph in there. Nobody at the company in the executive suite or board is allowed to short, pledge, or otherwise hinder their shares. So
they can't even buy puts, nothing.
Yeah, they're not allowed to hedge anything or short.
Nope.
And that's common in most companies, that wording. And I did confirm that it's there. Teja says, does the AMC quarterly loss account for the quarterly interest payment? That is cash burn. So, yes, it does. Damien says, you are day traders. Why do you care? I mean, I day trade some stocks, Damien. I don't day trade AMC. I've held AMC right along with you guys from mid 2021 all the way to 2023 till we started running low on cash, and we knew that a bunch of dilution was coming. And as I told you guys, you needed to switch you didn't need to do anything. As I told you guys, my plan was to switch to momentum trading till we got past Q2. Maybe, until I ran the numbers on Q3 or Q4, I might have had to swing trade this entire year. And maybe I still will, but swing trade implies just look for moments of good entry. And if I can hold it all the way and it goes nowhere but up through 2025, great. But if you have squeezes like we did in May, then I'll take a temporary exit, which I did. I was in below $3 in April, sold in that run up in May as we pushed to 12, and I'm rebuying now. I mean, that's not day trading. I held that for several weeks, and I was prepared to hold it longer. We had the Roaring Kitty bonus. I was not expecting that.
So here's the thing about day trading, right? Like you could say I'm a day trader, but I'm not. I do day trade, but I haven't day traded AMC.
For me, day trade means in and out in the same day. I'm definitely not doing that.
Same day is day trading, right? I'm not doing that. Am I weekly trading it? Absolutely, but I'm mostly an options trader. So what I do is I put my shares at risk, right? Not that I don't want to hold the shares, but if I'm going to hold the shares, I want to get paid to hold them. That's the difference, right? I want to be paid for holding my shares. So, like this week, I held a lot of shares and I lost them on Friday because the stock ran up. Okay, that's fine. It's all good. It happens, right? So now I need to regain an entry so I can continue going on. But that doesn't make you a day trader, right? A day trader is somebody who buys and sells in the same day. I'm not doing that.
Damien says you don't day trade AMC only for YouTube content. No, honestly, I don't day trade it because the volatility is not enough, Damien. A 30-cent swing in a week is pretty boring. Where are you at, Damien, in your position? Are you a long-term holder? Are you a buy and hold guy? Are you out of the play? Tell us a little bit about yourself, Damien, so we know where you're coming from with your viewpoint. We have people, at least a couple in the Discord that day trade it, but it's just not. It's not enough volatility for me. It's not even close enough to interesting volatility to day trade it for me.
So JP, are you doing like a 1348 strategy or something like that? Because I do that as well, but I haven't done it on AMC or GameStop because I just rather take the premium because I'm trying to accumulate shares and ride the wave up. I'm not really trying to just trade it. I'm trying to make money. Obviously, I'm trying to make weekly money at the same time, but I think that AMC has a value. I have a price target on AMC, so that I'll just say that.
If I was day trading it, Damien, I would tell you I have nothing to hide. I've always been upfront with you guys about how I trade. Even GameStop, I've been only swing trading it for almost 2 years now. Swing trading mean look at a quarterly cycle, try and get on the low of the quarter and out usually right around earnings time. Sometimes I hold it for weeks. Sometimes I hold it for months. Day trade for me, I'm looking for stocks that are moving 40, 50, 100% in a day. Those are what I want to day trade. I haven't been doing a lot of day trading recently of anything.
See, I'm glad that a lot of people, I can see the chats lighting up with people who are actually, using strategy to, protect their position and make money and with options. And that's kind of what I do, the same thing.
Damien asked, do you have a position in AMC? So I got out when it ran up to 12, Damien. And as I've been telling you guys since May, I've been looking for a re-entry point. I started selling puts a week or two ago. I got exercised on my first batch of those. So I'm in the stock again at $5. I had 450 puts sold for last week, which I thought I was going to end up with those shares, which would have been fine. I would have added to my position at 450, but it ended the week at 498 mediocre.
Yeah.
So I just got the premium, and I'll keep selling puts. I may adjust my strike price if AMC starts trending up. Then I just shift up my strike price. I was hoping to get back in before the end of year run up. I was hoping to get in under $4, but as I've said to you guys every live stream, that might not happen, and that's okay. I just want to see where this thing bottoms out at. And I want to know that the risk of dilution's off the table, because I don't want to be loaded up at $5 and then they announce the dilution, and it right after I finish loading up, it drops to $3.75. I'm going to be like, God damn it. If I had just waited another week, I could have got in for 25% cheaper. So I'm trying to be smart about it, but that also puts me at risk of missing the bottom. So I'm playing it by ear. What's up, Gorilla Gardner? How you doing?
What's up, GG? Yeah, for me, I'll tell you guys what happened to me. So on Monday, I bought under 450, like 447, and I immediately sold 450 call options against the position, took in a ton of premium. And, when the price dropped, it went down to like 432. I could have exited and I was thinking about exiting, but I said, nah, it's going to stay down. I figured it was going to close under 450. Tony was going to get shares. We were communicating, and then I'm like, I'm not going to do nothing. And then this thing just, it went up.
Did you know that the last day of the month, Mediocre, was the Russell 2000 rebalancing?
I didn't know.
I wonder if that had something to do with the price run up and that big spike in volume at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I've been very busy with my real work, and that's part of my problem with this week, and it's been extremely busy, and I didn't really want to mess with some stuff.
Someone's asking how much debt is due in 2026. Let me pull up that table here and we can look at it just so I make sure I tell you the exact right number.
Well, JP, so what I do, you guys got to understand, and I'm not trying to give away my position, but I trade a lot of money. Okay, so I'm making thousands of dollars a week on options. So for me, I just, if I make 40 cents, on a lot of money, that's big money. Figure it out. I mean, do the math. If I got 40 cents on a contract in a week, God, that's probably like two grand or more. And that's why I just do that and I just let it sit. I don't have to stress about it. If it goes up, it goes up, whatever. But and if I day trade the SPY, I have to constantly be looking at a chart and this, that, and the other thing. And I like to do that. Don't get me wrong. Like I like to look at a chart all the time, but I don't have a lot of time lately. That's my issue. Like lately it's been super busy at work.
Damien says you're not the same as 99% of the bag holders who listen to you. I mean, we trying to educate people, Damien, and even in my own Discord, I have people that don't want to trade it, and that's fine. Everybody makes up their own mind, Damien. All I can do is tell you what I'm doing. All right, let's look at the debt here real quick. 2026 debt, we have highlighted in green the term loan. That's $1.9 billion. We've got the PIK toggle, which is what AMC has been attacking by paying it off with the debt for equity exchanges. That is down to about 760, I think, right now with what they've paid off in the last quarter. And then you've got 51 million in 5.8% notes. This last one, they will let that go most likely because it's low interest rate. They will pay it off in 2026. So what they're looking at really, we think, is the green number at the top and the yellow at the top. So if I add those up, 1.7 plus 1.9 plus 700, I mean, we're in the neighborhood of 2.6 billion in the neighborhood. And the term loan from what Sparky and May have been telling me, they'll get a new loan. So really, then they've got to address this 700 million in 10-12 PIK toggles. That's really the focus, and that's why every time you see them paying something off with the debt for equity exchange, that is what they're attacking. It's the highest interest, and it's not a loan that can just be rolled like the one that was up there in green. Hopefully that makes sense. Anya says, Tony and Mediocre make it quite clear to consider options trading. And we also make it quite clear that buy and hold might not be the best strategy in 2024. I mean, since August of 2023. I mean, you guys knew, they made it no secret that they were going to dilute. We talked about it for a year leading up to that. I'm pretty sure we mentioned it once or twice, Mediocre. Am I right?
Absolutely, Tony. We even talked to other YouTubers and influencers about it. So what happened. It's water under the bridge now. I talk about what I'm doing, what Tony and I talk about, and others in the Discord, what we talk about on a daily basis, and my thoughts on stuff like that.
Re-
And that's
Remember,
it.
it's not our job to tell you guys how to trade. We're not going to tell you you need to sell because they're going to dilute. Even if I told people that, 99% of them would not listen. They'd get angry, shut off, never come back here, never try and learn. All I can do is tell you what is going to happen, and you need to read between the lines.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not my job to tell you when to buy, when to sell, or anything like that, right? I make it quite clear what I do. Uh, like right now, I only have 200 shares of AMC, to be totally honest with you, and I'm not happy with it, obviously. But I know I'll get more. Um, we'll see where the bottom is. If the bottom's 470 instead of 450, then fine. I can work with that. It doesn't matter to me. Whatever the bottom is what the bottom is. I just get in and just work the position from there. I don't stress about none of that crap. No, it's not. I don't think we're going to just run up to $13 like that whole Roaring Kitty thing was just that. It was all hype, right? Like I could have took more advantage of it. I wish I did, but that's all right, and I'm okay with that. But I protected my portfolio, and that's the only thing that I care about, right? My portfolio.
Lando's asking if we can look at Cinemark loans. I cover Cinemark once a quarter, Lando. So go to the last quarterly update I did on Cinemark, and I go over their debt in that video. They are in the same position, having debt as AMC, not as much, and because their overall size is smaller, and they didn't buy up a bunch of competitors, their debt structure is not as upside down as AMC. They could potentially make a profit this quarter. The one thing that's different with Cinemark is they do have some convertible notes, and I think the conversion price is I think it's 45 days or so that it has to be over the strike price, which is like $18.60. So you might see some conversion of debt to equity in Cinemark. This is just my guess why they're being heavily shorted, because as they're bumping up against that price where they're at right now, the longer they're up there, it's just tick tock that there's going to be dilution on Cinemark as those bonds convert to common. That's what I think. We'll see. I don't know. We'll find out.
Anya, it is true that I am profitable in my account, and I'm not underwater. That is true, right? But I don't. I still want to protect my portfolio, so that's why I do it. It's not about. I don't ever want to put my position at, my portfolio at risk like that again, like I did in the past, right? Like I should have sold when we hit 72. I didn't. I believed in what we were doing, right? And I still believe in AMC as a company. I don't think it should go bankrupt. That's part of the reason why I'm out here talking to people, and why I appreciate Tony about going over financials and stuff like that. Like we talk daily about that stuff, right? If the companies can make it, then there's a chance we can get to a decent number, right? But you got to take into account everything that's going on with it. You got to look at the debt, you got to look at the box office. It all matters to me. And before I didn't really care, when we ran up to 72 to squeeze whatever, right? But
Neither did I. I
exactly,
didn't even care about the financials in 2021. We had over, how much money did AMC have then?
not as much as they do now.
I'm going to pull it up because I already forgot the exact number. The
But
fuck is calling me?
what I wanted to get my point about was, Tony, is the fact that you know that when it ran to 72, we didn't care. We believed in the short squeeze. But up until they went to court and they did the conversion and reverse split, like that hurt. Like, yeah, we still got some short interest, but that hurt bad. It let a lot of shorts off, and now, got new shorts coming in, and they'll just step aside. They close their positions all the time, reopen them. They don't care.
$1.84 billion was what we had at the peak on the balance sheet.
And he asked for more, and we told him no. That was the stupidest thing we could have done.
It's not that we told him no, Mediocre. We weren't going to have enough people show up to vote.
Yeah.
All right, Mediocre. I'm going to need to go on mute here for a second. I'll be right back. You can take some questions.
You got it. Gorilla Gardener says, don't forget Tony has great video on the wheel strategy. Yes, Tony does have wheel strategy videos he's been putting out lately for you guys. I hope people look at them. That's kind of the strategy we run every day. Sometimes I do half of a wheel or whatever, but there's a lot of ways to run that strategy, and it works. I would suggest people educate themselves on options, right? Like, don't let options scare you. Go on YouTube, watch videos, kind of try to learn the language, understand what you're talking about, and, take the fear out of it. That's my thought of it, right? Let's see. Andy says, my point is, will it really kill you to pay $4.75 a share? No, Anya, it won't kill me at all, right? Like, that's why it is what it is. But I want the lowest price I could possibly get. And the reason why I like 450 is because I could sell a 450 put, and if it drops below 450 and closes below 450 on a Friday, then I get my shares at 450. I can't do that at 475. I have to buy this shares at the open market at 475. That's the only reason, right? So
Mediocre. I need to cut this short because my wife just called me. She's in a car accident.
Oh boy, I'm sorry to hear that.
So guys, thank you for tonight. Mediocre. Sorry to cut this short, but I need to go up the road and make sure she's okay.
All right, buddy. You have a good night.
All right.